Hi Yogi, and welcome to this 15-minute morning yoga to keep you consistent when you have no time. People always say, I've got no time for yoga, no time to work out, and there is always time. Even just 15 minutes can make the biggest difference to your day, to how you feel in your body and to how you feel in your mind too. Sometimes it's all about just showing up. By the way, if you like my yoga mats from Oli, and they are truly the most grippy and beautiful mats you can buy, I have linked it down below and you can get 10% off any of their mats with my code yoga with Ilona. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start standing today. So you can make your way to the top of your mat and just start to ground into the earth. Spread down into both feet, feel that connection with the floor. Maybe take a couple of rolls of the shoulders and then release the shoulder blades down on the back. You can bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. Start to draw your navel lightly in and lengthen up through the crown of your head. The temptation is always to hop on the mat and get started with the movement straight away. And of course, we will be doing some movement today, but this time to ground in and to bring yourself into stillness at the start is so important. Allow the rest of the day to be set aside for a short time and just allow yourself to be with your breath now. And now from there, just open your eyes. We'll reach the arms out and up. And then you can interlace the fingers and stretch up. Let the tops of the shoulders come towards the ears. You can take your feet a little bit wider apart to feel more stable. Check in on your lower ribs. Are they flaring out? Can you hug them in? And then take a side bend, reach up and over towards your left side. Maybe you look up here. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back to center. We'll take it over to the other side. Stretch and lengthen over to your right side. Maybe you gaze up. Maybe you even grab an opposite wrist to find what feels good for you. And we'll do that again each way. So lengthen up, stretch and reach. Then bring it back to center. Over to the other side once again. Maybe you can bend a little further this time. Then bring it back to center, spread the arms outwards and down. And if you're not already, step to the top edge of your mat. Interlace the fingers now down behind you and open up the chest. Stretch the knuckles down behind you. Tuck your tailbone and find a back bend here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, release the arms, melt all the way forward towards the mat. When you get down to this forward fold, you can bend your knees as much as you need to feel good and take a little sway side to side. Finding a couple of full breaths in this juicy forward fold. Inhale now, bring the fingertips to your shins, take a halfway lift. So in this halfway lift, don't round your spine, lift the chest, and then exhale, bow forward. A couple more, inhale, lift, exhale, bow forward, and again, lift, really lengthen, reach your tailbone away, reach your chin and the crown of your head forward. Exhale, bow down into the legs, and then we'll plant the hands to the mat. Walk all the way back to a nice strong plank. You can stay on the toes or bring your knees down if you need to. Ground into your hands, spread the fingers wide, spread wide through the palms. Take a little rock forward and back here. Feel strong in your plank. Check you're not sinking into your lower back. And you find more strength in those core muscles. Pull them in. And then from there, lower with strength all the way to the mat. Good, and then squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift up to a cobra pose. Push down through the tops of the feet. Inhale. Exhale, bow back down to the mat. Push the floor away, and we'll find our way into a downward facing dog here. So just come very gently in. You don't need to have your legs straight. They can be a little bit bent. And maybe it feels good to you to take a little bit of movement here, pedaling out the feet. Bend one knee and then the other. And keep bringing yourself back to that breath. From here, step your left foot forward between the hands. You can give it that extra little boost with your hand if it needs. And then lift up from there into our lifted low lunge, Anjaneyasana. You can just keep your hands on your hips. Pull your lower belly in as you then sink your hips towards the mat. Lift the chest. Option to keep your hands on your hips or stretch your arms to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, active hamstring stretch. Keep the upper body nice and tall as you stretch out that left hamstring. Flex the toes. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, send the hips back, stretch and lengthen. Again, bring it forward. And hamstring stretch. Good. From there, bend into that front knee. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your arms to the sky. Find your balance. Lift up to your high crescent lunge. Stay really strong through that back leg. Even sit a little bit lower into your hips. Take another inhale. Exhale, lower your hands to the earth. Step back to plank on the knees or the toes. So if you like to, you can bring your knees down instead of being in that full plank position. Take a full breath in. Exhale, lower to the mat with control. Good. From here, inhale, lift the chest, little cobra pose, and then press into the hands. Bring yourself through onto the knees and then back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And a nice long exhale. Now step your right foot forward, going on to the other side now. Bring your left knee down. And then we're in our low lunge on the other side. You can bring your hands to your hips. Pull your core muscles in, pull your lower ribs in. Try to square the hips off. Stay nice and proud through the chest. Take a couple of breaths here in that low lunge. Take another full inhale. And then as you exhale, move the hips back into your hamstring stretch. Straighten out that front leg. You can also reach your arms up as we come into the low lunge again. Exhale, bring it back. Active hamstring stretch. Flex the toes. One more time. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, send it back. Flex your toes. Lengthen through the chest. And bring it forward again. Make sure that back foot is tucked under and lift up with strength into your high crescent lunge. Try not to sink into your lower back, but pull your core muscles in as you continue to straighten through that back leg and feel that hip flexor stretch. Another full inhale. Exhale, lower the hands, step back to plank. Different this time. From there, bring the knees down, lower halfway down like a push-up, chaturanga, and then lift back up onto the tops of the feet. So untuck the toes, lift your thighs towards the sky, push the floor away with both hands, find your upward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, tuck the toes under, move back, downward facing dog. Nice, and then we'll step that left foot forward again and turn towards the long edge of the mat. Take your feet quite wide apart, wider than your hips, wider than your shoulders, and then turn the toes out. Start to strengthen into your legs as you bend the knees and roll yourself up into a goddess pose. You can bring the arms out into a cactus or even reach them up to the sky. Sit a little lower into your hips and maybe take a bit of movement side to side. Breathe. Sit a little lower. Check if your knees are knocking in. Can you turn them outwards a little bit more? And then we'll bring the hands down to the thighs. Stretch out one shoulder, so drop one shoulder down as you look to the opposite side. And then bring it back to center, switch. Again, each way to that left side and then to that right side. Good, and then come back to center, strengthen into your legs, reach your arms up once again, turn your toes in and your heels out, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, fold your way down into your wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita. And you can either just let your arms dangle, or you could reach for your peace fingers with your big toes, your big toes with your peace fingers, or your ankles. And either just hang here, really let it be lazy and relaxed, or maybe you draw the crown of your head closer towards the mat. Breathe strongly in and out through the nose. Good. And then from there, bring your fingertips to the floor. Just start to flatten out that spine. Heel toe your feet towards each other again and come down into a little squat on the mat. If your heels don't reach the mat, that's okay. Just use your hands to support you. Take a little bit of a wiggle side to side. And then from there, make your way to seated on the mat, however that looks for you. And we'll bring ourselves down onto our backs. So start to duck your tailbone, roll one vertebra at a time to the floor. And then you can bring your heels in towards your bottom and lie all the way down. Have your heels quite close in towards you, knees parallel. As you inhale, flatten your lower back into the floor. And then as you exhale, start to tuck your tailbone under and roll up one vertebra at a time into your Setu Bandhasana, the low bridge position. Really lift your chest up. Maybe you can even walk your shoulder blades underneath you and interlace the fingers for a deeper chest opening. Take another inhale. Exhale, roll all the way back down with as much control as you can find. Good, and then from there you can gently hug your knees to your chest. Maybe take a little rock side to side if that feels good. Nice, and final pose here, we'll take a happy baby. So reach for the outsides of your knees or the backs of your knees as you flex your feet towards the sky and draw your knees outwards and down towards your shoulders. You can stay here, or if you can keep your head relaxed whilst reaching for your feet or your toes, then you can do that too. And again, if you've got the balance, you can take a little rock side to side on your lower back. And when you've had enough, gently bring the feet back towards each other. Ground your feet to the earth. We won't take a full Shavasana as this is such a short practice, but just ground your feet into the floor. Take a moment of stillness here to feel your body on the mat, to feel your breath moving in and out. Notice how good it feels to even just practice and move for 15 minutes. Good, and then when you're ready, turn yourself over to one side and push yourself up sideways to a seated position. And then you can just cross your legs or kneel and find that nice upright spine. Take a full breath in and sigh the air out. I invite you to bring your hands to heart center and bow your head. Thank yourself for showing up today, even just for 15 minutes. Remember that showing up is sometimes the hardest part, and it's all that counts some days. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you're feeling refreshed and energized after even just a baby short practice. Again, if you enjoyed it, please give the video a like, comment below what you would like to see next, and leave me a secret emoji, which is a cat emoji. So if you got all the way to the end, leave that cat emoji so that I know. And I hope you have the most beautiful day. I will see you in the next one.